All right, welcome to Wealth Cartel Season 2, Episode 4, I think this one is. So for anyone that's new to the podcast, just so we do this every time, our mission is to stop people saying, I wish I'd listened, to help people capitalize on everyone else's mistake and pretty much turn our hindsight and our guest hindsight into your foresight so you can learn from what we did wrong, what we wish we'd listened to. I'm Kingy. I run a financial advisory firm called Three Kings Wealth Management, and this is Akko.
I'm the managing director of 9 Penal and Picasso Studios across New South Wales.
I'll say it. Say the word.
Conglomerate.
Yeah, he loves that word, conglomerate.
Yeah, I don't love that word. You can't even spell it, you fuckhead. Stop making me say it.
Don't need to, bro. All right, so on today's podcast, we've got some IG fam of ours. We've got Suspekt and Diamond. So you all should know Suspekt from Track Addicts and his track with our boy H Does It, FTG. That one gets pumped a fair bit around here. Then we have our girl Diamond, who most of you know from Diamond Reacts. And you should both know their IG and their YouTube. If you don't, you will after this because full of energy and all the laughs. Suspekt, how's that steak and Vegemite going, bro?
Sorry?
How's that steak and Vegemite going?
Oh, bro, I swear that was disgusting. I don't know what kind of taste buds you got there, but man.
Well, you're not supposed to dip it in there like chip and dip, bro. You're supposed to cook it in there and marinate it.
I think even when we did cook it with we marinated with the steak.
No
way. It didn't taste the burn.
Yeah, I burnt it.
I swear I learned that one about 10, 15 years ago from an Italian joint in Mount Druitt. I reckon that's the problem. Don't go to Italian.
You should have fucking left it 10, 15 years ago, bro. No one wants to eat steak and Vegemite.
Bro, I should have marinated in VB or something.
I'll tell you, you know what's another good one? You know what you've got to try? Weird as, you know, Cruskets?
Oh, yeah.
They're like the Cruskets. They're like, so you get Cruskets, crunchy peanut butter and beetroot.
No, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with peanut
100%.
butter.
Peanut butter and beetroot, bro.
I love beetroot. Beetroot.
Yeah, me too.
Are you taking the piss?
Nah, it's like peanut butter and jam, bro. Man, peanut butter and beetroot, same shit.
Oh yeah.
Try it. I guarantee you like it.
Have you drank the beetroot juice?
Nah, not a chance. I'll love them both separately, but
bro, we used to add sweetener in it. We used to add sweetener in the beetroot juice. This is our cordial inside. This was our cordial inside. You add the sweetener to the beetroot juice, and it tastes exactly like red cordial.
Right, I got fucking veneer. I got veneers. So if I drink beetroot juice, it looks like I'm walking around like a fucking vampire for 2 weeks.
Beetroot juice is the best. It's a mad pre-workout too, apparently.
Yeah, it's actually good. It's good for you.
All right, so cracking on. So guys, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on. We're really happy to have you here. Yeah. Give us a bit of an intro about yourselves. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
You go first.
You go first.
It's your boy Suspekt. From Mount Druitt. Grew up in Mount Druitt. Yeah, pretty much just do my thing on just the YouTube thing, and like also with the music thing.
You still dropping tracks?
Yeah, I got a fair few in like just in the safe with that, but yeah, I'm still just put that on hold for.
TA's coming out in the summer with a few tracks, aren't
they? Yeah, they got a few, and then like the boys have been working in the studio and that, so.
Ryan's,
you're gonna have to drop some cracker to catch up with LDP on that family track. That was
I know.
That was a banger.
Ryan's Track Addict's biggest fanboy. He's a big fanboy. 100%, bro. He's a fuck. I didn't know who Track Addicts were, and he's like, bro, come listen to this shit. And like then in the gym,
because all Dan listens to is fucking Bugsy Malone.
I love Bugsy Malone, bro. He's the fucking best. He's the best.
You support your locals, man.
Oh no, I like the local scene, but I'm born in Lethbridge Park, and then I grew up with the Dooney boys, so I'm a little bit sort of in the middle of at the moment. I stay away from that. I just fucking stay away from that Aussie hip hop shit.
Smart.
I like I got one of my mates is rolling pretty thick with Chilling It at the moment. I get on his shit. I don't mind that.
Who's that?
Chilling It. You know Zimby Jungle.
Jungle, yeah, that's one of the boys, man. I was with him inside.
Yeah. I grew up with Jungle, bro. So I know him from like because I'm a Blacktown boy. I grew up in Blacktown, and then was born in Mountie, grew up in Blacktown, and then I sort of like I've known Jungle my whole life, bro. He's one of my mates.
Yeah, he's sick on. He's one of the boys.
Yeah. Have you seen him fight?
Huh? Yeah,
He's
he's the old person. I used to train inside. I seen him hit the bag in there. He goes pretty good.
I seen him kick a bloke running. He's kick his head off.
Bro, you would. Look at the size of him, bro. He's a unit,
big
man.
boy. He's a big boy.
Big boy. Shout out to Jungle, man.
Where are you from, Diamond?
Yeah.
I'm from well, I grew up parts of, I'll just say Sydney and Melbourne, but yeah, back here in Sydney now. Guildford. So I'm on the other side of the tracks. Yeah.
Oh shit! There's some fucking fire. There's some shit going on here.
Yeah.
This is no Romeo and Juliet shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm alright, but yeah, he would have had a few run-ins with my older cousins and that back then.
Yeah.
Hanging out Guildford leads the car park.
A few run-ins.
Oh, G40. I remember.
Family catch-ups are going to be fire.
Yeah.
I remember playing footy, man. I played footy against Guildford one day, and there was a crew of these Islander dudes. One of his name was Francis, man. He was a big dude. He had a problem with one. Yeah, bro. So he had this problem with this guy in our team, and we walked off, and I reckon there was 100 G40 in the change room waiting for us. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? So we just jumped in the cars and left. I was not fucking with them.
Right, and he's a giant too, that guy. He's a big boy.
Yeah, about fucking 7 foot tall at 16.
Yeah.
Far up.
He's still the same.
Everyone else caught up, you reckon?
Yeah.
So
cool.
having a look at the things that we talk about today, guys. So what are some things sort of where you tell us? I know we won't go too deep into much stuff, but tell us a bit about growing up and whereabouts you were, and sort of some things that you learned from that to do what you're doing today, like the change in mindset about where you are today from each of you.
Right. I don't know. I grew up in an area where it was just the hard knocks. Like, I'm pretty sure Atkin knows. But yeah, I grew up in a good family, big family. I had a family. Grew up in a family of 8. Yeah, just.
Did you play footy growing up? Did you play footy?
Yeah, I played footy. I played footy for Blacktown City. College in the youngins, and then pretty sure you've heard of the 20-year suspension thing.
Was that you? Is that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Nah.
that was me back then. With it was under 16s. But yeah, before we get to that, yeah, Mount Druitt, bro. We grew up in an area just full of just violence. Just part of a crew, one of the biggest crews back in those days. Just me and my brothers. We were part of a crew. Just grew up just all in the streets. Even though at home we grew up in a good family.
Was your family religious, Suspekt?
Huh?
Is your family religious?
Yeah. Yeah, mum and dad's religious.
I can resonate with that too, bro. I grew up in my family was sort of similar. Like, I grew up in a good home and that, but we knew hardship from a real young age. You know what I mean? And your best mate might not have had the same upbringing as you, so you were sort of drawn to his lifestyle. That's the way I was. I was like, I had a good at home, but then when I was out, all the boys had a hard, and then we were all mates, and it was like, well, I might as well be one of them. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because you're surrounded in that group of circles, so it's just like, yeah, you're doing what you do to try and fit in, sort of thing.
I used to love the fact that I could go home and escape, but a lot of my mates didn't have an escape. You know, they sort of went home, and it was worse, if anything. And then, like with me, like I always had that safe place to go back to.
Yeah.
It was more of a choice to be running amok than anything else. Yeah. But I think for me that helped me grow out of it, because a lot of my mates didn't get the chance to grow out of it because they didn't know anything else. I knew 2 worlds. Like, I knew that world, and I knew the one I chose. You had
parents that loved you and looked after you, where they'd go home and it would be like, oh, Yeah,
it was nearly worse. You nearly be safer out there running them up
out on
the
the
road,
street,
like,
sort of thing.
than at home sometimes, you know. So it's bullshit. It's part of growing up in the West, you know, nowadays. But I think it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. I think people are starting to understand now. You know, it's especially with social media, and kids can go online now and go, "Hey, fuck, Dad bashed me last night. You better not do that anymore." Like it's it's starting to come to light. Not that like you should be able to slap your kid in the head, I reckon, but if you fuck
yeah, but it's to a certain extent. There's discipline, but then there's also like abuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's to an extent you discipline them out of love to an extent to teach them.
You should always feel safer at home. You know what I mean? Like regardless of whether you're a fuck up or not, you should always feel safe at home. And not a lot of kids have that from out west. So
100%.
It's good to start saying I've got a lot of mates now who are going really well. You know, like we spoke about Jungle before. He's going real good now. He's on the cranes and he's got his brand going and then like I've got a lot of mates now, man, from where I grew up from the West that sort of looked like they were going down the wrong path, and then something happened, you know, in their mind, and they went, "Fuck, maybe I can use what went on in my life to sort of change it up," which is what happened to me. I'm sure it happened to Ryan as well. You know, we all had different stuff. Ryan was in the army. I was a little bit different. I ran amok, like with the boys here. He sort of come from a different institutionalized thing where he was like rebelling against that. I was rebelling against my parents, but there's always something you rebel against. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
What about yourself? What about growing up for yourself? What was it like, and what lessons have you sort of pulled out into? You know, you guys. The big thing I'm trying to find here is obviously you guys have been through a bit, and you guys you guys are so strong, and your energy's so high, and like whatever, you know. I actually saw a post from you not long ago, Diamond, about childbirth and stuff on your page a little while ago, and how you were, you know, you're battling with stuff behind closed doors, but you know, you brought that energy for everyone. And I think that's probably the part that I love the most about you guys on your socials, is that you're pretty open and honest, but you bring that energy for the fam. So I sort of want to know what you know, for you growing up, and what, you know, what you don't have to, like I said, don't ever dive too much into shit here. Like don't on that. But what are some lessons in that you sort of grew up with and learned that sort of you brought into today, and you know is a positive, is a success, allows you to be who you are today?
Yeah. So I was actually born in New Zealand. And then I got adopted to my dad's sister who lived here in Australia. So she had 2 sons. So when I moved over here, so I was raised by them like since I was a baby. And then there was like kind of like a breakdown in our family. So then it left me to be raised by my 2 adopted brothers. So I was raised with them. And back then, they were running amok too back in Melbourne. So basically that's all, like I was just raised more like
whereabouts in Melbourne? What part of Melbourne?
In Westside, Altona. Yeah.
So is that like similar to like Western Sydney? Is that what it's like? It's like,
so that's like the part in Melbourne where all the islanders are at. So it was, you know, basically the same. So like,
you got the white junkies on the east side.
Yeah.
That's like,
and then all in the
that's like
all the islanders. Yeah.
That's like Toongabbie in Melbourne.
Yeah. But so I was like just kind of like fend for myself kind of thing. But like having the boys around, it was like just basically they raised me more like their little brother than more like a sister, because we didn't know jack shit about having like, you know, parents around. So it was just us 3, and everywhere they went I tagged along, even at a young age. So like I was always around the boys. But I think that's probably what, I don't know, played a big part in our relationship, because we're just like we're just like boys. So like we have a good understanding. Like I can understand like his street life and stuff like that, because it's kind of like what I grew up around. But
what
more
kind of
so,
street?
Yeah, you've been ghetto. I can understand.
Oh yeah, just growing up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
It's not really a ghetto. It's all right. It's a good place.
But yeah, I think, but now we both have like a better mindset kind of thing. I think I've kind of had to pull him in a bit more, like kind of from away from, not completely away, but and I kind of switched the mindset.
It's hard. It's always a woman that pulls you away, but it's always a woman that pulls you away, man. With me, like I struggled for years. Like even when I was going good, I struggled still to just stay good. I figured that I needed to find something that meant more than that.
Or
someone like, and people turn around and say, "Oh, you know, it's the boys forever." Fuck, your boys aren't having your babies, cunt. You know what I mean? Like I always got my boy
at the end of the night.
you know what I mean? Like, and if they are, you're probably not living the real street life. So you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Like I never forget who my mates are, but anyone who tells you it's the boys over your girl, I don't agree. Like once you got that girl and the kids and that, it sort of becomes that becomes your family. And
exactly.
Even your immediate family. Like I know with me, if my immediate family switch up on my missus, I know who I'm backing straight away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like, and if you don't have a back, you're a bitch, really.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I actually started watching.
I have a feeling Diamond's their own back, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah, but it doesn't always have to be Diamond fighting the boys. Like something just has to say, hey, don't. That's enough, and then that's all that has to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started watching your reactions. Ages and ages ago.
Yeah,
When you
I've
were
been
like,
almost 2 years now since I've been on. Yeah.
Ages. I started watching them. I watched the Lead to the VI a lot. I used to watch a lot of Lead to the VI.
Oh yes.
And then you know who that is? And then because they were the first ones that started doing the Aussie boys. Like the UK ones were doing the Aussie boys, and that's what I was like. And I just started watching that, so it was good. But what are you waving your arm for?
I'm stretching. I'm trying to make it. My whole left side's going.
He's like,
and he keeps
I'm here. Stop fucking speaking.
He keeps taking the piss out of me. We started training together, and my whole left side's gone dead, and he just keeps rubbing it in.
Oh yeah.
We start going to the gym, and all of a sudden, in 3 weeks, I'm lifting heavier than this cunt. He's been training for 2 years. He's a weak, fucking weakest kid.
He's not. He's lifting my wall.
I don't know. I think it must be some good gear, bro.
Nah, not yet. There's no gear yet. It's on its way. It's on its way.
Either that or it's like really strong pre-workout.
Bro, funny story. There's no pre-workout. I had no pre-workout here, and I've been struggling without it. And the fucking coffee machine in my hotel doesn't work, so I dry scooped a shot of coffee.
Oh, how much of a big difference it makes, but the pre-workout, bro.
Well, I reckon
that
shot of coffee. Have you done that before? Just the dry. Oh, bro, it's the. Hang on, I've got someone in my room. Hang on. Fucking hell. She wasn't supposed to be here yet. Hey, man. I'm busy. I'm in the middle of something. Oh, good. Yeah, come back later. Thanks. You know, you're not supposed to be till 3 o'clock.
You want me to cut that bit out or what?
Nah, fuck it. My missus doesn't watch your shit anyway.
He didn't stand up with his undies on.
Bro, you know what? I just forgot that I had green shorts on. Then I just come back to the gym. I actually look all right up top at the moment.
I know you wearing undies on.
I was like, oh.
It's like one of those interviews.
Yeah. No, there's those Zoom people that are sitting on the toilet and forget they're on Zoom. You see that? Fucking hell.
All right, guys, tell us a bit. Tell us each 1 to 3. Tell us a couple of things, up to 3 things about each year that people will be surprised to know. Let's get this a bit exciting.
3 things. I don't know. I think everyone knows my story pretty much. I went to jail. For starters, did 4 years for GBH with intent. Come out.
Where's the intent come from? How do they know you intended to GBH you?
Huh? See, that's the thing.
That intent charge is the killer, eh? That's the one that gives you the sentence.
Because they reckon I planned it. Because I made the call before I done it, but it wasn't intentionally. I didn't threaten them. They reckon it was just.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big charge, bro. Nowadays, like a GBH charge, especially with intent. I know one of my mates just went through a court case, man. He had a 6-day trial.
Under manslaughter. That's a charge under manslaughter.
It's crazy, eh?
That's what they try to get me for, the manslaughter charge. But yeah, they ended up dropping it. But yeah, that come out. I sort of went a bit off the rails when I got out, and yeah, sort of just last year when I met her, I sort of just started like turning my life back around, sort of thing.
Is that when you got back into music?
Yeah. When I started getting back into the music, I started finding things to like sort of distract me from other things, and just doing my thing with the music.
That's the key, bro. The key. I reckon so many people I speak to now, I figure even myself, Ryan, I know as well. The key to staying on track is finding things you like to do, and doing them as much as you can to keep out of trouble. Like, I reckon I got severe ADD, man. Like I can't think. So I figured out if I enjoy running the businesses, so I keep myself that busy. Like I don't really stop. There's not really a time that I work. But I find the busier I am, the less likely I'm gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you find
100%. That's what I mean. Like if I wasn't in the studio doing that, I'll probably be locked up again, or because I'm coming out from jail, I was set with my own routine, like 4 years. But every day was just a routine thing. And I'll come out to just let's go out here, let's party, let's do this, let's do that. Let's go on. I was on benders and just going off the rails, and I was just like, what the fuck? Just threw me out. So I went into like a come down stage where I was just went through a depression stage where I was just fuck this, I want to go back in so I can get back into a routine where I just feel normal again.
Institutionalized, bro. That's fucking crazy.
And I'll go to the shops and I'll just fuck, I need to get out of here, or like I can't go out to like events because I'll be like my anxiety levels are just
Did you have anxiety while you were in jail? Did you find there was like any sort of anxiety in there, or it was more so when you were out?
It was more so when I got released. Inside, I was right. I thought
that's crazy to think it. It's crazy when you think of that, eh? Like when you sit and talk about it now, you're less anxious when you're free, when you're locked up than when you're free, just because in there you've managed to set yourself up. You've got no way, you've got no way of getting on it. You got no way of drinking, really. Like you're sort of your mind's clear, and you got that everyday routine.
But then when you're out, it's just like, right, you've got all these temptations. You got access to everything. You can do whatever, bro. Pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
Just that one little move will see, like
And it only takes 10. Come forward a bit, bro. You're echoey.
I said training. You've been training heaps, seems to be helping you a bit too, eh?
Yeah, and training helps me too in my mental state. Just the way, just it helps me a lot. Like a lot. If I'm not training, then I'm just frustrated. She knows that. I get frustrated if I don't go gym.
I reckon Suspect feels like he's back inside when he trains, because I swear you just do heaps of jail workouts every time.
That's what we do. We just incorporate jail workouts with things, like with weights. That's it.
Me and that guy all the time at the gym, mate, bro. Like you'll be sitting there and you'll see someone training and you're like,
you spot it from a mile away. Well, like one of the boys the other day, we know him, but he was doing a workout. I go, bro, you're not fucking in Stillwater now. You're all right. You're allowed to use the bench. You know what I mean? He goes, nah, he was doing the star presses, and he was like rowing, and then he was doing like something body weight, and then he was doing star press, and I was like, bro, you're not in the yard. You know what I mean? There's a bench press here. Look. And he's fuck off. I like doing it like this. But I tell you what, that body weight shit, it transforms their body, eh? It transforms the shape of your body, the calisthenic stuff.
It transforms faster than weights itself. So you do them together, man. The way one of the boys trains us,
I've seen that dude, but who's that fucking dude?
Oh, Marlo.
Oh,
yeah, he's a machine when he trains.
It looks like a Ninja Turtle, bro. It looks like like the Ninja Turtle movies where they're full jacked up. Like that's what he looks like, one of those dudes.
Yeah.
Fuck walking past him in an alley, that dude. Hey, I'll be fucking bench pressing my fuck the way out of there.
Just start doing burpees, he'll let you pass.
Nah, because I'll fail at how many he wants me to do, bro, and then I'm fucked again anyway.
She's like, I'm on to use.
So what about you, Diamond? What's 3 things that people might not know about you?
I would say the number one thing that people get shocked about is that I'm a mom. Because every time when we like show a bit of our kids or something, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're a mom," and it's just like, oh, like I think more so it's like we don't really like to show our kids like that much because that's not their life, that's ours, like, you know. And not only that is because, bruh, the internet's so dangerous these days.
Oh fuck.
Like, yeah, so like we show them here and there, but then yeah, that's our life that we chose to be on the internet, not theirs. So like we try to just show snippets here and there, but that's one thing that people like get shocked about is that, yeah, we're parents.
Yeah.
You got 3 kids.
Yeah. What was that?
You got 3 kids?
Yeah, so we got he has
I got
one son. I got I say 2 because the last one that I had a daughter for my brother and his wife. So yeah, I just count.
Oh, you're a surrogate.
Yeah, I was a surrogate. Yeah, that's another thing that people don't know. Yeah, I was a surrogate. Because then people always like, "What the fuck? She just had a kid. Where is it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like, oh, frick. Yeah."
I gave it away. I gave it away on the internet.
Yeah, but it's more like a traditional kind of culture thing. It's more culture. Like if you know you have a sibling that can't have a child, then to whoever wants to give one up, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. I never knew that. That's crazy. Yeah. But surrogacy, that's probably the most selfless thing in the world, I reckon. Like, I've got 3 kids. I got my youngest son, he's 3, and then my wife has 2 older kids who are my stepkids, but they're my sons, you know, like my kids. Yeah. But I know just going through the process of the pregnancy, and I'm sure this is fresh in Ryan's mind now.
Yeah.
How hard it would be then to hand that over. Like, fuck it. That's the most selfless thing in the world for you to be able to do that for your brother. That's unreal. That's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. Do you still have contact with your brother and with the kids and stuff like that?
Yeah, because
and they call you. Really does the baby call you auntie?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that weird?
She calls me auntie, but sometimes when she's a bit cheeky to me, I'm like, "Oh, I'm your real mom," and then she starts crying. Like when she starts getting cheeky to me and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh," but yeah, no, between me and my brothers, we don't really hide anything from each other. So especially that brother as well, and because I was adopted too, I was closer to them than I was with my blood siblings. So he didn't get scared of like me, you know, one day coming to take her or anything, because but basically the way that we did it is as soon as I had her, I got them to come and take her like straight away, because I didn't want any attachment, because I knew if I was to like have time with her and that, it was not going to happen at all.
And does it happen legally, or do you just sort of say here's the baby?
No, we didn't do. I wasn't even adopted illegally. Legally, but like, yeah, it's more of a culture thing. I don't like.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's
it's just a thing that we do, kind of.
Yeah, different islands, different. Like it's their first child, they got to give it to their grandparents or something. Like, say something like that. Like I know with Cook Islands, they give them to their grandparents.
Yeah.
So their first child.
Yeah.
And then
that's mad. That's like you can have a kid at 18. Go here, mum, look after this for me.
Yeah.
While I grow up.
I'll come back later when he's 21.
Just let me grow up. Let me grow up for a little bit first, and then I'll come back after the kid.
No,
once that kid.
I think it's everyone's consent to it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So the grandparents, like that's what they want.
It's sort of an understanding prior to having the baby as well.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's a shock taking the baby. It's more like this is our culture. This is what we do. So it's an understanding even before you fall pregnant, Nelly, that look, the first one goes to the grandparents and it's interesting. I mean, crazy how different all the cultures are. There's so many different cultures of what they do and stuff like that. So cool. It's a good one. That's the best one we've had on here yet so far. No one knows I'm a surrogate. That's the best. That's the most shocking thing. It's cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people watch this and don't know that either.
Yeah, that's what I always tell her. It's the most. She's so selfless when it comes to, you know, what she does for her family and that. It's like, You know, that's why I think that's what one of the most things I love about it is how selfless she is.
Oh, you're cute, bro. She's gonna bash you soon.
Huh?
You're cute. You're being more. You're being number four. Number 4 is on the way now. She's like, oh, you like me, do you?
Now let's hustle. Let's get the hustle out the way first.
100%.
All right, so yeah, that was great. Suspect, you have to pick up your game, bro. You just everyone knows you've been to jail. No one knew that about the surrogacy.
Yeah.
I don't really like to thing. I only tell them what I want them to know. You know.
That's
If you know, you know.
I was actually wondering how this podcast was going to go. I was like, we're going to ask this kind of questions, and he's going to say no comment. How the fuck are we supposed to do a podcast?
I was thinking the same because when I was like, oh, he didn't want to go through the questions, so he was like, oh no, I just want to, and I was like, that's a bit risky. So I was like, oh shoot, just one question.
I was like, I've been asked to jump on podcasts and that, and I've always said no.
Yeah,
I'm not good with interviews and that. I don't really. But I've known Ryan online, and I know what he's like, so I've got that feel with the type of person
you've got that. You got that rapport first. That's the best thing about our side, bro. Like a lot of the podcasts and that I notice when there's podcasts going on and stuff like that, they're trying to interview things that they're not about. They're trying to interview people they've got no understanding of. With us, we sort of understand the world. So if we ask a question and people don't want to answer, don't answer. If we, you know what I mean. But if we get into the conversation and it gets chopped up, there's no on our end. There's no judgment. We understand. If you ask me a question, I don't want to answer. I'll tell you no comment as well. So
yeah, exactly. There's no.
I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
All his information's for a price. I'll give it to you. Whatever you want. It'll be all fake information anyway. We'll split the coin. All right, so we'll get into the hindsight stuff now, guys. This has been good. The three things. So when we talk about the reason we started Wealth Cartel was when we coming out of where we come out of, you don't have money, right? It's the number one thing you don't have, but we sort of neglect to think that we still had a bit of love. You know what I mean? Like even when you don't have money, it tends to be that love, that is kind of, you find happiness other ways. But as we get old and as we come out through this hustle, we seem to forget that, and we all just start focusing on money, and it usually gets us into a bit of trouble, right? So we come up with the Wealth Cartel to talk about wealth instead of kids focusing on trying to be rich. Because, we all know people who've made money and they're unhappy, or they're living not the right life, or people who've made money and they're miserable, right? So we talk about wealth with 3 key factors: the balance between money, because you do need money. We get like people who say you don't need money, you do need money to survive, so it's there.
Yeah.
The balance between money, health, right? Without your health, it doesn't matter how much money or anything you got no health, you're gone. And then last one is lifestyle. If you got all the money in the bank and you're not living the life you want to live, what's the point? So we come up with the wealth triangle, which is that, and the wealth triangle is the key to happiness, and it's the perfect balance of those 3 things. So what we're going to talk about next is sort of go into each one of those categories. And like I said, we're not going to divulge into what your money situation is or anything like that. It's just about lessons that you've learned along the way that you can pass on, that you sort of learn, and what you've been through, and in the way of, for me, for example, when I was younger, I thought just money, you just had to have money. That brought all the happiness in the world. And I learned that it didn't, right? No matter how much money you make in a week or whatever, doing whatever, there's still things missing from that. And you got to find those holes to be truly happy, So first one we'll start with is the money. We'll get that one out of the way. What are some biggest positives or biggest negatives, mistakes or things you did right that you would go back and tell your younger self to try and learn from things and sort of get ahead quicker in that way?
That's probably the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest way to describe it. If you met your younger self, 10 years ago, what would you tell them directly about it?
I'll say save. Save. Have a savings. Just start a savings.
Don't bend up.
Don't bend up.
Don't bend up.
The amount of money I've spent like partying out, like just being at hotels, just partying like from grade 17, probably even. Just
like learn how to stretch your money more, because there's this we had this weekend where he had a dinner with the boys, I had a dinner with my sisters. So
You didn't see each other for 3 weeks after.
Pardon?
You didn't see each other for 3 weeks after that.
No, she's just comparing the difference of how much money she spent and how much money I spent when I went out.
Because this was like a dinner that like they haven't seen each other for a long time. So he took 1K with him, and I took 300. So because I was just going dinner with my sisters, and then when he got back from the drink up, so we're only gone same time, like 12 hours were gone, like both got home, and I was like, pull out how much you got left from that. So I had 300, he had 1K, and then he pulled out like how much?
I think I put out
like 200 or something. 200.
But that's all right.
That's good. He should have got rewarded.
What do you mean?
For me,
bro, if he come home with money, he should have got rewarded for every dollar. 100%.
I was shocked that there was even. But I was
he didn't. He was like, oh, I didn't even know I had that. He had like 200 and like some coins, and then I had 220 left over, and then I was like, see the difference between me and you. I know how to stretch and like what to buy, and him. He's just like, oh, fuck it, who cares? Lobster.
Give me fucking 3 lobster right now.
Like complaining, here's the 220. You go buy some makeup.
I swear, I have no respect for like. That's the thing with me. Like, I have no respect for it. Because I know that money doesn't bring me happiness.
100%, and you can make it back, bro. That's where
there's a saying. It's like you make the money, not the money makes you. Like sort of thing.
Yeah. I think the best part about what you just said, which I'll jump on because this is mad. Like that as funny as we just had a laugh. That's really good, right? Like really good lessons in the way. Because the same thing, right? Like me and Akko, neither of us really respect money. And even though I'm a financial advisor, like that's my in, is that I know money comes so quick. Like you can make money so quickly that the downside is you start losing the respect for it. So what we talk about in that instance, and something that maybe Suspekt back in the day, like the earlier you got on top of this, would be put structures and systems in place that respect the money instead of you having to respect it. You know what I mean? So you could still do what you do, and you can still live your life the way you want without having to put too much thought into it, but so that in 20 years you don't look back and go, fuck, I've made that much money, I wish I'd put a little bit here. You know what I mean? I think that's something a lot of people could learn from in that way, is you don't have to respect money. I actually really get along with people who don't respect money because it means it's not controlling their life. But
when he talks shit about this sort of stuff, he's always referring to me. Always. This is him. You haven't fucking
I thought there was a bit of dark shade there.
Always, bro.
That's like how me and him work.
He's the classic if the shoe fits. I put up a post last night and it was from a conversation with someone else, and he messaged me, stop talking about me on your story.
No, bro, I'm terrible, but see, I'm a big spender, man. Like, what you're talking about is the exact same as me and my wife. She goes out for dinner with a girl, she'll come home with cash. I go out, I might, like, these days I don't come home 3 days later, but I used to be like, and not only that too, if you had said to me how much money you got, then I would have got, you know what, I'll get caught this time. Next time, I'll take 1,000. I'll spend $3,000, but I'll make sure there's 800 in there, so she doesn't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? I'll figure out the system, but I feel like the situation around that, like because I'm a client of Ryan, so since coming on board, understanding the money, I still spend. I'm not going to be told what I can and can't buy. I'm not going to be told impulsively that I can't buy my kid a bike if I don't want to buy my kid a bike. But I own it, right? I understand now, if you buy that, you better make sure that you can afford everything else. You better make sure all of your plans aren't affected by it. So Ryan's got me on this app at the moment, and it fucking peppers me. Like, it's like every day it's like, oh, you're doing something wrong. I'm thinking, what the fuck am I supposed to do? But it's the understanding of it that helps me. So it's not to say that I'm perfect with my money anymore. It's not to say that I don't spend anymore, but I understand when I spend, there's a consequence. So if you spend that, if I spend that coin that he's told me, no, that's out of your budget, somehow I've got to either make it back or I have to sacrifice something, which is one of my goals. And I'm not in a position anymore. Like I'm 32 now. I don't want to sacrifice goals anymore. So that makes it easier for me to go, right, fuck you, I'm not spending 1,000 on this dinner. You know what I mean? Your money's coming easier than mine these days. You spend it. That's the way my mindset is now of the boys. Like, the boys are going, oh, because I always used to shout, hey, Akko, you shouting? No. You make better, easy money than me now. I work hard for my money. You fucking shout me. Fucking sick of it. but that's the part now. It's only happened in the last 6 weeks, really, where we've actually really divulged into my budget, and I'm looking at it like, yeah, all right, I make good money, I own these businesses, I've got a lot, going on in my life, but without understanding it, really, in 10 years, I'm going to be in the exact same place as I am now. That's the key to it, I reckon. Just to understand what's going on.
The other part about with you guys when you go out for dinner, it's less about each one of you and it's more about the people you're with, probably.
Yeah, true.
Your girls aren't going to push you to spend that $800. But
yeah.
The boys are all about it.
Don't give the boys up. You're giving the boys up.
Give the boys up.
I thought we said the missus comes before the boys before. Come on, bro. What is this?
The missus coming for the boys.
Oh, your name make me look bad.
Bro, don't make him do another GBH.
I'll give him your address.
All
right, so next one, so money. So that was good for the money. That was actually a really good chat. I enjoyed that. The next one, health, right? So, obviously you talked before, Suspekt, about training helps you with your head and that kind of stuff, which we all agree with. The two parts of your health, mental and physical, are just as important as each other. What same sort of question? If you go back and tell yourself when you were younger, what's something in relation to health that you would say to try and improve where you are today or get there quicker?
I would have more training back then because once I stopped doing sports and that, once I got suspended from footy, I stopped doing sports and I stopped training in that. So I was doing more partying. So I'd say to my younger self, like, I should have kept training or tried another sport. I gave up then. As soon as I got suspended, I gave up straight away. I was just like, boom, fuck it. I just started partying, pretty much. Partying, working and partying. So I was living week to week, just working and then, boom, give rent and then partying with the rest. So I was just like, I was just had no structure at all. So I would have said like, structure.
So do you reckon? So looking at it, like when you keep talking about structure and you talking about how you were in routine in jail, I got a one of my sons is ADHD, is really really high scale ADHD, and the conversation with the pediatrician is consistently routine, and not taking him out of football because he's being naughty, actually make him train harder and find a way to get him up at 7 every morning, get a routine in the morning, breakfast, blah, 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 get him pretty much working back to back, like an institutionalized, like he's in jail, and his mindset and his behavior will change. The problem is that it's really hard to stay, it's really hard for that to be, routine stay forever. So the problem is with that is that when he turns 16 or when he goes through puberty and the routine changes a little bit, you've then got 6 months of trying to restructure it. Similar to what you're talking about when you got out, you're like, fuck, this is all different to me. So that's the issue. But routine with most people does wonders. You know what I mean? Routine's fucking massive, man.
You feel kind of lost when you're not in a routine. It's just like you've wasted, or you're just out of place. You just feel lost. You don't know what to do. You don't know. You just put out of place sort of thing. So and it fucks with your head sort of. Like a lot when
100%.
When you're not in routine.
You're trying to find that balance as well, though, bro. Like I grew up on the coast with H in that, right? And my old boy was from Mount Druitt, so I moved between Woo Woo and Mount Druitt, and my old boy grew up sort of, as you do in Mount Druitt, and when I moved to the coast, like I was pretty aware of everything and I didn't party on nothing. Like I was the opposite of what you're saying. I trained, right? Like I trained. I was started training at 15 and pretty much trained until 21. I didn't start partying until I was like 21, 22. I think it's important that, like we always say this, the hard part with
you're a fucking rookie. 21, 20.
I'll still blow you under the table.
Hey, that was a short party career, lived short.
Yeah, fuck. You only partied for 8 years. Where's the other 5 or 6?
Yeah, but I did enough.
This dude, bro. When we met, we were both in real fucked up spots of our lives, bro. We were partying so hard, I think that's why we started liking each other, and then that's why we started not liking each other, because I was like, fuck, I can't see this cunt anymore. I gotta
I was saying, yeah, for 3 days straight.
yeah, fuck this. We gotta not do it. Like, and we'd go for meetings, like professional meetings, like, let's have a meeting, bro. Let's get this set up. Let's do what we're gonna do. And we would never have a meeting, bro. Never. My miss is like, we're fucking having our first podcast. We got fucked up, like bad as fucked up. Ended up calling his missus. By the time to pick us up, by the time she got there, we didn't want to go anymore. We wanted to party. Fuck, man. Like, we're like, the last 12 months since we switched it up and changed, but both of our businesses have just like skyrocketed. Our mindsets are better, our lives are better, our family life's better. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I found what I was saying is I found that, like we always say, the hard part with this is everything all of us have done has gotten us to where we are now, right? And we can't regret anything. Like, we learn a lot of lessons on the way, which is good. But I always say, like what you're saying, Suspekt, if you were to switch it up and you trained more and didn't party, like what happened with me is then when I had 21, 22 and I had coin, fuck, I partied. Like, partied 12 times worse than I would have if I was 17. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important, like, I'm not going to tell kids to go out and party, but what I'm saying is finding that balance. You know what I mean? Like, none of us wish that. I don't wish I drank one little drop when I was 17 and all I did was train. I just maybe a bit more of that balance and structure, like you said.
Yeah. 100%. You can't really. Yeah, I don't really regret anything.
Nah, yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Just wish there was some structure.
Yeah, structure.
Yeah.
I would have put structure there.
100%. Dom, what do you do on the health side?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's where me and him, like, our routines like clash, because my thing is like, like he always has to go gym, like, and I know that, like, if even before I moved in, like, he has to go gym. Like,
I already told her, I laid the Lord. Look, I don't care what we do during the day. Like, I'll prioritize you and do everything else. But as long as I get my time with the boys, I'm going to the gym. I don't care what time of the day it is. But I'll prioritize everything with her. Like, put her first. But then I gotta have that time. Yeah,
like and I think that's like when our routine started clashing and stuff, because, well, you know, me and my social media stuff, it's like, I feel like it's 24/7, unless like I'm asleep. That's the only time I'm not like hustling or working. And like, sometimes, like, now that we have our own channel, it's like, if we don't pump out our videos, or we are not satisfied with like what we're putting out on our content, and that, I'm like, all right, you're not going gym today, we're gonna, you know. And then, like, when that happens, the rest of the days that follow, or like anything after that follows, his attitude is just like, nah, whatever, blah blah blah, there's no energy. And I'm like, oh, all right. So he has to go gym, because if not, he won't give me no energy, like in our videos and that. So me, I train when I can, like I'll train for a good week, and I'm like, good, I'm starting a diet, then it will come, like, my social media stuff will start stacking on, and then I'm like, nah, fuck it, I can't do any of that. But like with him, yeah, he has to train. What the hell? Like, I have to. My diet
it's
is
each
like,
to their own, eh?
Yeah, like,
it's each to their own. Like, what works for one doesn't work for another, sort of thing. And that's pretty much the whole point of our podcast, is to explain, like, don't get me wrong, not everyone's going to feel the same way we do about training, or not everyone's going to feel the same way we do about. Yeah, you got to understand that with people.
Not everyone's not what's for you is not for everyone else. You got to understand that. So with me and her, I always try and just find that balance, or like, we'll, instead of like trying to go against each other, we always tell each other, like, oh, just, we got to work with each other here. Like,
compromise.
Compromise. That's a big thing. Compromise.
Yeah.
So, in regards to your mental health, right? So, without training, because obviously, Suspekt, your headspace is heavily driven by your training, and I'm the exact same. Echo's starting to be the exact same now as well. So, what do you do on that front then, Diamond, for yourself? What is the big things that keeps your head moving in the right direction every day?
For my thing, I use social media. Not only that, because like, I know social media is like brings on like most of my stress, but at the same time, I've like, I don't know, reading, also watching you know, motivational videos, I do that daily, day and night. Like I wake up, watch them. Nighttime, I watch them just to get myself in a good mental state. Because like for me, because everyone's like my family, they're always like, "Oh, just don't do it. Like don't do your, like just take the stress off yourself. Don't worry about it. Like doing your social media stuff." But for me, it's more like it's what I love to do. I can't not do it. You know what I mean?
Bit of
So
purpose,
that's
right?
like it's my purpose. Like I feel like I just do things to make myself more mentally stronger. To handle all of that instead of saying, "Oh, just fuck it," and then I'll be depressed because I'm not doing what I love. So
train yourself to that's a good one. I reckon that's a lot of people just give up and go, "Oh, this is the reason for my stress. I'm going to stop it."
Everyone else, like
remove the reason for your stress. But realistically, if you grow into a stronger person, the stress is no longer as much as what it was. That's what we consistently talk about here: is being conscious of what your stresses are. The fact that you understand what you love is also your stress.
Yeah,
you're not going to give it up because you know you love it. All you've got to do is grow into a bigger, stronger version of yourself, and then you can handle that. One thing I'll give you, I watched this thing. I'll send the link over to Ryan when I find it. I'll send it over to you. Have a look. What it does is it explains teaches you how to love the process as opposed to and stressing about it. So I stress as well. I stress about everything that possible that I could stress about, but I'm getting better progressively because I'm getting better at what I do, and it's becoming easier. And obviously I understand myself, but a lot of the reason I feel like I'm learning it is I watched this thing, and then I read this little snippet book, and it pretty much tells you that if you're not enjoying the process, that's the problem. The problem is not the stress. You're allowed the stress, but if you find a way not to enjoy what you love, it's fucking pointless. You know what I mean? So
100%.
What's the last one, Ryan?
Hey, well, so hang on. Before that, I think on that's a really good point on the social media, Diamond, and I love that your page, all your pages, but your joint page in particular is super strong. Like it's one, I don't think anyone's gonna fuck with you on there, but two, it's very like you own what you say, and that's what I do on my page as well. And people who get stressed out by social life, they really give a shit what other people think, and it's really because they're on there for other people. Where I've noticed big similarity between our pages. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about me. And that's you guys don't either. And it's because you guys are on there for you, not for them. You're on there doing what you want to do, and I think that's really, really strong because a lot of people do say, we get this real negative vibe from social media, and I've never heard someone say that it's that it's part of your. It helps you as much as it gives you stress with the time. It helps you, and I think that's a big lesson wise because you own it and you're on there for you, not for anyone else. And I think that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too. That's a real good indication of where your head's at the moment and understanding what you want to do. A lot of people do things in their life. I feel like they're unsure of it, or they're not all in, and you don't essentially have to. I don't believe in putting all your eggs in one basket. I read a lot of stuff that people say, hey, you have to give away everything else and hustle on one thing. I don't necessarily agree. I've got a few different things I do. Obviously, I do the podcast. I do my businesses. I've got other business ideas in my head. I'm always looking for the next thing. My goal is success and to keep moving forward. That's my one thing I focus on. So everyone keeps talking this shit like, oh, if you want to be successful, you have to give up everything else and you have to focus on one, where my one focus, and I'm sure your one focus, Ryan's, is success. So if you stop just having tunnel vision and looking at like, I need to get famous off YouTube, but you start looking at the success of yourself and the growth as people, progressively you're going to get better at what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's a massive thing. So.
All right, the last one on this one on the hindsight stuff is lifestyle. So this Suspekt can tell us all about this. So can you hear me? Or is it playing up? Yeah. So it's the.
I'm trying not to.
No.
I thought that was a cracker joke. Tough crowd.
No comment.
So with the lifestyle stuff, and this doesn't have to be Bender, and this can be just living our life. You know what I mean? Like this can be going traveling and seeing family, doing whatever. The biggest thing we always get is people when we're younger, we go, I lived my life too much, and then later on you work. But then when we get older, we go, I didn't live it enough. You know what I mean? And we want to. There's no point living a half-assed life. So we want to try and find that balance. So for you guys, what is the
what is something you'd go back to where you are today, like from up to now, and sort of say to yourself as a younger person, how to make sure that you're living your best life on that front?
Don't get pinched.
Don't get pinched.
Be good at it now.
That's the
No,
perfect
I'd
one.
say,
Bro.
Don't call him.
Don't to not rush, because when you're younger, you're rushing too quick to grow up.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the stage, like our stage now, you want life to slow down. I'd say, just if I was to say to my younger self, I would say just live your life. Even to the youngins now, like live your life. Don't try and rush to grow up too early.
Yeah.
Because you get to that stage where you're old, you're just like, wow, fuck.
What
I'm
happened?
getting old, bro. I'm getting old. What do I have to show for, you know? So
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's a
Slow
good
down.
one, man.
That's real good. I really like that.
Yeah.
That's what Ryan needs to do, bro.
Nah, he
Ryan
needs to
needs
catch up. Nah.
Wait, anytime, fellas, anytime.
I'll see you this afternoon. Come meet me in Canberra.
I'll put the next 6 days on hold. Like, you won't last 3. Diamond, what about you?
For me personally, I think to isolate myself more. And not take things so personally, because like I say a lot of like say with my social media, and that a lot of my success kind of, I won't say, but like a lot of people relating to me, and that is because of like my childhood kind of trauma, kind of like stuff like that. And because I feel like just not taking certain things, because like I feel like a lot of youngins in our culture these days, a lot of things that affect them comes from, it's sad but true, like family. Like some people just think like they're healing from things from relationships, but it's not. Some people have parents that don't support them. Some people had no love, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of what I teach on mine, and what I'm so open about, there's a lot of youngins that follow, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's like me too. Like, you know, I don't have like, I grew up in big families, but there was like, none of us support each other, or none of us, like, you know, the love, I'm closer to my friends kind of thing. So that's like me now as an adult. Now I could honestly say, it's sad to say, but like sometimes water is like thicker than blood kind of thing. And like, you know, sometimes your own enemies sitting right next to you kind of thing. So like,
friends are chosen family, eh? Friends are chosen
like
family.
Sometimes you got to pick your own, like, you know, if you want to move somewhere, you can't just keep, you know, letting everyone just like leech on you kind of thing. Because like with me, like I feel like my family don't know me unless I'm doing something on social media. You know what I mean? Like they learn more about me on social media, and they're like, oh fuck, I didn't even know you felt like that. But it's like, isolating myself more, or just
protecting yourself, setting boundaries.
Protecting myself more, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not good to cut people off. I'm like, yeah, it's not, but sometimes it's necessary.
It is.
In life.
I know if it is.
Yeah.
Get one shot at this
my
thing.
family called me like the cut-off queen, because like as soon as someone's energy is there, it's like boom. See you later. I don't.
Bro, my grandma fucked up before my wedding. She pissed me off. No wedding. Haven't spoken to her since. Right. I have a kid 2 weeks ago. She sends me a letter, and I just burnt the letter. So who are you? Get out of here. I ain't giving a fuck.
It's sad.
If you cut off your grandma, bro, you're cold.
Yeah,
I fucking love my grandma's my favorite person in the world. You wouldn't give
my grandparents,
bro.
I promise you wouldn't love this one. She's a rat. Right.
Are you gonna cut that out?
No, I'll send it to her. I'm gonna snippet this and send it to her.
Tag it on Instagram.
Don't cut it out, because if my grandma sees this, she'll think I'm a fuckwit just for being friends with you.
No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm ice cold when it comes to cutting people away. I don't give a fuck.
I want to talk about grandma.
I want to talk about mothers. You know, Suspekt, Diamond, I watched the thing on you a little while ago. I remember when something happened with, what's that rapper? And he got caught with that young chick.
Justin Bieber.
Nah, he's not a rapper. Nah, remember that UK rapper, that rapper that you... Dutch Valley. And there was, everyone was like, oh, you supported him so hard. And then you were like, nah, fuck him, cut him off. And then people were like, oh, you cut him off. The same fucking people.
yeah.
I was watching.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh,
bro, what the fuck are these weirdos doing?
Yeah.
We
But-
can't say.
They're fucking spinners. I seen that. I was watching that, and I was like, this is something where I feel like you'll learn from that, because those people's opinions, like, they're fucking
Yeah.
spastics. Those
Bro,
people
I
that were
swear,
talking
I
that.
was there when I seen that
When that
happen.
happened, I was like,
bro, they were literally saying, "Oh,
I
look at
had-
this girl. She's supporting a
like for
you
a
know."
good whole week. I
Yeah,
felt like-
pedophile. You're
Yeah.
supporting a pedophile. You
As soon
you
as
like
she
Dr.
did that,
Belly, and then you cut
Yeah.
him off, and we're like, you know what, the facts here, they're like, oh, you cut him off. You're not
yeah,
a
they
real
were like,
supporter.
oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
hon. Um,
Dom, got a
Yeah,
sorry, just cut out.
I seen that. And I seen that it affected you. It was obvious from the outside looking in that it bothered you.
fuck,
And
that,
you were
that
like,
burned me for like a for a long time.
one thing I reckon, like, I learned in the last 12 to 18 months, I got 50 staff. So we got about 50 people that work beneath my sort of crew, and then 4 management. And the management, like, my wife's one of the managers, and then we have 3 other chicks. And what they all have in common, the girls all have in common, although they're all completely different people, they take stuff very to heart. Whereas me,
Yes.
if someone said that to me, I'd be like, fuck you, dickhead. Like, I don't care. But it comes, hard skin comes with experience, right? Going through, like, I'm a tradie. So as a tradie, you grow up in a hard-nosed world, the building industry, construction industry, it's a lot harder. Ryan's from the army, so we've got thick skin. If I could give you any advice on that, honestly, treat it like a business as opposed to your personal life in regards to your YouTube. Treat it like a business, because if a person on the street personally told me fuck you, it'd offend me. But if a person in a business meeting told me fuck you, I'm like, all right, sweet, it's business. Business is business. And the more you think about it that way, the easier it is to progress further and drop that shit off. Because if you're not worried about them, you're only worried about you, and you'll go heaps better, I think. So.
It is hard for Diamond, because half of her brand is vulnerability. Like,
yeah, agreed.
A lot of your followers enjoy you guys being so open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
To that stuff as well. So
100%.
That's balance as well.
That's real difficult. I can imagine how difficult it is, because it does shit you. It's like, fuck you. Like, this is me. I'm being raw.
How do you cope with a suspect?
Right?
How do you cope with it when you see that?
When I see that,
Yeah.
I had
Not
to train
like in your head.
like
Don't tell me what you not physically deal with it. How do you?
what?
Like, how do you feel?
How does it make you feel?
Okay.
No, she had to like sort of just embed it in my head,
Yeah.
because I'll lose it. I'll just be like, what the fuck,
You
this
start
cocksucker
writing
saying, right?
statuses and stuff.
No, I went
Don't
right like
Don't feed
statuses. I was
them.
just,
Yeah, I was like, they know what they're doing. And
I was
then,
like, where do you stay, cunt? I'll fucking pull through, cunt.
like,
I mean,
that's one thing with you.
Hey,
the
keep that same
internet.
energy in person then, like, you know.
Yeah,
that's how I
fuck.
was, you know. I was just like, fuck.
And you know the
Hiding behind
internet,
the
it's
screen, I
like
always
you
used to
don't know,
just- Yeah.
anyone. So he'll be like, "Oh, who is this person?" I'm like, "I don't know. They have like 3 followers.
Bro, they might even they're not even a real fucking person. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
know.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but I
Listen here, lady
But
killer
now when it's a
9000.
fake- what?
Listen here, lady killer 9000. I'm coming.
Yeah, lady killer 12575.
Yeah.
Can't write in there.
So-
New numbers on there. I'll be able to find-
Hey, so with yours is called Diamond Reacts. I see you've got is it your sister, Diamond Lifts?
oh, she's my niece.
Yeah.
She trains at Shred Fitness at Blacktown
Yep.
under a mate of mine. So yeah, he's
Oh, really?
so the dude who owns that gym. We used to do like my business used to do like a sponsorship through them with athletes. We used to sponsor athletes out of there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I seen that come up and I was like, they're starting to brand out the Diamond name. I thought it was pretty cool. But there's Diamond Reacts, Diamond Lifts. Is there another one?
No. Oh, there's just my other channel that I've been working on.
Yeah.
But yeah. But now everyone says Suspekt and Diamond, and I'm just like,
I like it. I reckon that's a pretty cool thing as well. Like, is Diamond the last name or the mid? Like,
No, so my real name is Mary Diamond, but like, yeah, I didn't really like the Mary part because I was just like, oh, it's not marketable for me, so like I just stuck with like the Diamond name. But
branding
my
is Diamond.
grandmother's name.
So,
yeah.
So your niece does she have Diamond in her name as well?
Yeah, her actual name's Diamond. Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the branding of it. The branding's cool, like Diamond Lifts, Diamond Reacts. Need to find like a diamond punches page or something like that. See like Diamond Lifts, Diamond Reacts, Diamond Fights.
Yeah, true. Have
a little brand.
100%.
All right, to finish up, guys, that was cracker. That was good. Appreciate it. You've done our bit, so let's do yours. What do you tell us? Give us a plug, right? So tell us what you guys are doing now. Drop all your pages or your YouTube. I'll throw them up on the screen as part of the edit. And tell us, is there anyone business-wise or personal-wise that you want to connect with that you can help or that can help you for collaborations or whatever? And what's next for you guys?
So basically what we're doing now, like we just combined both our pages, and that's why we have our YouTube channel. But for us, it was more like we just started it just for fun, but we knew a lot of people that were in small businesses, like from the area and stuff. So we just started off with Capiso. So he's wearing one of them. That's one of our main sponsors, and also Relay House from back in Melbourne. And then we just thought like, while we're at it, because we already have platforms and that, like, might as well just start pushing people's businesses on our, just little promo at the start kind of thing. So like I think most of our audience came from that. So they're like, oh, fuck, but they're not just doing it for themselves. Like now they're branching out. Because I mean, I'm already like, we both have our platforms, and now it's just helping everyone else while we're at it. And also like, just another one, Young Achievers is another one that we're combining with soon.
What's that one? Why is it? What is it?
Young Achievers. So they're from Shelby.
Yeah, they're from Mount George too, Shelby.
Yeah.
So
get it. Send us some hats. Send us the details.
We'll send you a couple. Just send us
your addies.
Yeah, sweet. We're hat wearers. We're big hat wearers.
They're all A-frames as well. So
we do everything we can to cover as much of our head as possible without it looking like a bat.
Without it looking into a.
We're a little bit past balaclavas now. We just wear hats. We're all right now.
So that's another like so because we just started it just for fun, now we're kind of like we're gonna start I know Brian knows about this. We're gonna host an event later on in the year, kind of like a poly mixer, not just polys, but like small businesses from the areas and that, to be able to network with each other instead of us just always pushing them like online. It's better to like go out and actually network, because that's I think that's one thing that with polys we don't really do. We're more comfortable like behind a screen instead of actually getting out there and knowing who owns whose business and what.
Make sure there's security there.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be some light drinks there. Lights.
I'll bring the boys.
Nah, you can't have light. I was about to say I'll set up one of my businesses in Blacktown, but Mount Druitt's my area as well for Pino. I was going to say I'll put on a free day, but I'm not doing that if there's no security. I'm scared. Come down to Tregear Shops. We'll come down to Tregear Shops and do a Pino and Picasso.
No, we'll do it out of the area where it's
Guildford.
No.
That's even worse.
Out of both areas.
Out of both areas.
Yeah, come to the Hills
District.
District.
People can like actually go into a room and just feel that they have to behave. That type of
that's it.
What a courthouse. We're gonna hold it in a courthouse.
Kind of like a courthouse. You walk into the room and it's like, all right, be on your best behavior,
No, I think that's a good idea, guys. I reckon you will get good traction out of that. It's good for the brand too. Like your brand's obviously growing daily. You know what I mean? You keep pushing out that content, and you're gonna get good stuff through. I'd love to flick you guys over some tickets to come into one of our Pinot Picasso sessions on us, and maybe vlog it.
What's that, Pinot Picasso?
Paint and sip and paint.
Yeah, so we've got
probably finish my wine and I'll be the only one painting.
That's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about.
I'll make her.
That's mad. Yeah, that'll be hectic.
Yeah,
we'll flick you some tickets and get you.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we can vlog that.
Yeah, that's hectic.
Lucky guys, no, we don't go on date nights. Our date nights is Macca's drive-through.
I swear we don't have time for that.
Yeah, like
Your date nights
terrible.
is the eating of whatever someone recommends on your channel.
Steak and
Yeah.
Vegemite.
that's our date
Fuck
night.
you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys get some hectic. Those platters boxes that these are the platter.
Savvy meals.
Savvy meals,
Yeah.
Savvy meals. Yeah.
Woo.
Are they mad?
Yeah, they done that. That was hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
mad.
Yeah.
Try that. Make sure you try the beetroot and peanut butter.
Yeah, you're gonna try that
Oh,
now
yeah.
on the video now.
yeah, I'm gonna try.
No, no.
fish and peanut butter.
You have to try it too, Diamond.
Oh, I got a weak stomach. That's why.
I
was
love
doing
peanut
it.
butter jelly, so I could actually, you know.
Mm.
You'll like it. You'll like it. Make sure it's Make sure it's crunchy peanut butter. You need you need the
Toasted
texture.
butt? Do you toast the
Nah, so the crust it comes. It's like a
It's
crispy
already
like.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
like that, and then you just put the peanut butter on, and then the beetroot on top. Make sure it's crunchy. You need crunchy, bro. You need texture.
Right, I'll try.
These are fucked. A lot of yous. That's just disgusting.
He's a fuck.
All right, thanks heaps for coming on, guys. We'll switch it off here. We'll edit it up, chuck it up, and we'll chat to you guys there. Thanks heaps again. We appreciate it.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.